That's
This
good. Well,
conference will now
I
be
promise you it
recorded.
won't be for much longer. And I know the recordings as well. And as well, I'm completely out. So the recorder is up and running. So let's just, as always, everything that we're going to be talking about is for educational purposes only, and nothing is intended as any type of investment advice. All right, so I got a few things to say. Let's talk about Trader of the Month first. So a few things. Now, I know this morning, because we started just a little bit late. Today has been just a hectic day, but we didn't really talk about it as much as I wanted to. So last month, Doug was the Trader of the Month. We went over, and I know I kind of briefly touched on it, but so Doug's been with me for Jesus, I don't know, since before ATC has even started. So it's been a long time. Now, he hasn't been full time, but you know what? Everyone deserves to be talked about. So the reason he got Trader of the Month is not only, he's been a consistent trader to a certain extent, but now he's starting to up shares and getting to a point where this is when trading just becomes completely different, where you can start actually, moving some things. And it's very, very impressive what he was able to get to. Now, that's not this month's, okay, because I have two more people that I want to talk about. But everyone, Doug, the guy deserves a round of applause. He's at a point right now, it's impressive, okay? And once you get to that point, it's nothing but bigger things from there, all right? So, Doug, once again, congratulations. You deserve it. It's, like I said, very, very impressive. Now I want to talk about Dave, because Dave's been Trader of the Month for 2 months now. He was able to actually hold on to that green title for that. But, so that's not really, it wasn't an accident. Okay, one thing about Dave I want you guys to see is that this guy, man, what he's put into this, okay? And when we talk about, I'm going to decide I'm going to be a trader and I'm going to work. The guy literally at one point told us that he got rid of his Netflix, his cable accounts, so he could only watch videos. Come on. If that's not dedication, then I don't know what is. But what I love, not only about that, but what I really love is if you look at the group trade evaluation, I love it. And I actually go over it every single day, every single night. And I kind of look at it, and I'm going to start getting involved with your guys' group trade evaluations. Not yet. It's probably going to be starting in the new year. But not only is he succeeding himself as a trader and opening up a new mindset, but he's helping everyone else. And that's what ATC is all about. As you guys know, I don't need to teach anymore. I don't at all. We do this to help others. Okay, it's that karma. That's that karma, and it's giving other people the opportunity to know the knowledge that's out there and really be able to change his life. So if there was any person that should have had this for 2 straight months and never been taken off, it's David Torres. So I want to also give him just a shout out, because it's just unbelievable what you're doing. And don't get me wrong, this does not take away from anyone else. You guys are all doing the same thing, but David has taken it to a point where I'm very, 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 very proud of this guy. And he's taken everything that he's been taught and he's just added upon it. I give him a journal, he makes a better journal. I give him something, to make sure that you start cataloging a binder. Guy had the binder already ready. He didn't even know I was going to say binder. So it really is just, if you're going to, and obviously not everyone's always going to have the same ability with time and the same ability, to be able to do everything else. But if you're going to really kind of ghost yourself on someone that you should be following and what they're doing, okay, this is the guy. So once again, even though he's been in green for 2 months, it was meant that way. Okay, Doug's already got his color. That's fine, but I'm very, very proud. Keep up the good work. Now let's talk about who our Trader of the Month is going to be for December. All right, so this person was at the last onsite. Okay, and it's not, first of all, I don't care whether you're in classes or onsite. That's not how you win Trader of the Month. It's when the participation, the helpfulness. Okay, jokes definitely help too. I like to laugh, as you guys know. So jokes help a little bit as well. But at the end of the day, the real reason that this person is going to be our Trader of the Month is because the growth. Okay, taking something, because a lot of times, we got to understand, if you haven't learned from myself or somebody, you really don't know exactly the way to go. But this person took onsite to a point where it changed their entire mindset on how they trade. Now, when this is one of these people, when they call out something now, I look at it. Okay, and that's a very big deal. On top of the fact, at the end of the day, my biggest importance to me is once you know what you're doing, helpfulness. This is a family, guys. We're all here to do the same exact thing. We all are here for this to accomplish that same exact goal. And this person is not only helping that, but has grown their self. So everyone give a round of applause to Andy for being December's Trader of the Month. Now, I do not know if he's in. Is he in here still? I know he was on his mobile. I wanted to make sure he was. But Andy, absolutely phenomenal job. Keep continuously doing. So one of the things that you got to understand is if you win Trader of the Month, the things that made you win Trader of the Month need to be continued. So just keep up that great work. Continue to do exactly what what you're doing at the moment, and you're going to see you're going to get there way quicker than you ever would have thought. So once again, just a absolutely phenomenal job, Andy. All right, so that does it for our my whole little spiel. And it's not really a spiel. Everything I say comes from the bottom of my heart. I would, as you guys know, I am honest to a fault. So I'm very proud of the three people that I just spoke about. I mean, it's, and you got to understand too, guys, I put in a ton of work for you. I really do. And my whole goal is to make you guys succeed. So when I see these things happening and I see the growth coming in, you got to understand, it makes me happy. On top of it, not that you should ever care about me, because guess what? No one's going to help pay my bills. No one's going to help pay your bills. But at the same time, I mean, it's incredible with the path that I'm seeing everyone going, working as a team, and everyone's starting. What I really love about it is everyone's starting to get on one mindset. And when everyone in the group is on one mindset, it helps making things so much easier over and over again. I unplugged my keyboard yesterday during class, but I plugged it in to say thank you. All right, guys, so just absolutely. Both guys have mentioned OnSite as the catalyst, by the way, which might be something there. Not going to sell myself, but I do a pretty damn good job, I think. Just kidding. But, guys, absolutely phenomenal. All right, so let's talk about stocks. So Sage was fun this morning. And I told you guys during our morning meeting, when you have a stock that falls $100, for it to go up 20, it's called bottom fishing. What you expect is you a little bit of a short squeeze, because obviously if a stock's dropping $100, you're going to have about basically 99% of the market makers out there knew it was going to drop. So what happens is you start to see that covering coming in, and that's really what bottom fishing is you get that short squeeze that ends up popping the stock up. Even though you're getting new selling, that amount and just that influx of that buying that comes back in. So we ended up getting such a beautiful trigger going right into the morning. I want you to understand something, though. That would have been impossible to take because there was just too much going on. There was too much selling that was actually happening during the pre-market. So once that came back in, that wasn't the actual trigger. You could have taken it, but it would have been very, very iffy. Now, the one trigger right here is really what came in. And I told you guys, and somebody asked me, what's the deal with Sage? And I said, look for a trigger towards that upside, because we had buying all the way at those highs right around 64 and change, and then as we started coming back up. And I'm going to tell you something. Right here was probably one of the hardest holds that you ever would have had. And I would never in my life blame somebody getting out, even though it held the trigger. Because guess what, guys? If it broke this trigger, what was that bar going to look like? And I just want you to understand this, because sometimes even though it held the trigger, and I could say, oh, well, I tell you the rules is exactly what you have to hold it until the trigger. Guess what? When a stock is down $100, if that bar came the opposite way of the consolidation off that trigger, you are now down like $4 instantaneously. So guess what? I understand, but it held that, and then we got the next move back up, and it was just a beautiful trade. I mean, a huge trade that really followed its rules absolutely perfect. But I want you to understand something. If you didn't hold and you got out before it actually broke the trigger that you took, I understand. And it was not a bad idea whatsoever. I just really went on feel and the fact that we had that buying that came back up. But I was clinched this entire time. Even I was like, because if it did drop, we're going down to this print line. So you're talking about, basically about a $3.50 drop. So I just want you to understand that. But now that that's done, now that we basically satisfied that buying coming back up, guys, we have a lot of selling from that pre-market in there. So I'm still going to keep my eye on this because we know right now this thing could break down. If we get a bar out of this, it's going to the double bottom almost immediately. Okay, but coming into the afternoon with lower volume, it's going to be way harder to actually be able to trade. So just keep that in mind. Now, AUPH. So AUPH, we're starting to come back down, and we know we got those riders that came in at 1590. Was it 1595? I believe it was right before. Okay, so the push up that I didn't catch the full push up. Okay, but it was it 90? Okay, so 90. Those riders came in. We just went over this in class yesterday. We just talked about how you get that guy that comes into the consolidation. Not only is it a ballsy position on its own, but it's a ballsy position because of the consolidation. It was just such a beautiful trade. And then we made that run up. But remember, this started off, the actual move towards that upside started off of selling. So we have to keep this on our list going into the afternoon. I would have loved to really talk about it up here at 16. That would have been better off because we know that this double bottom is going to start acting as a magnet to bring this thing back down. So we just need to make sure at 15 we start to continue to see new selling, but this thing does have a lot more room towards the downside based off the selling that we saw. Volume is great. It's just very consolidated. It's not going to be the easiest of trades and the easiest of entries, but it's something we certainly need to pay attention to. All right, so let's talk about PTI because I haven't heard anyone say anything about PTI ever. I didn't even know this stock existed. It's amazing that it just popped up out of nowhere. And those of you that know that I'm kidding, Doug, I mean, I don't know how much more he could talk about it, how much more he likes not only what's going on within the buying and the company. I have nothing to do with PTI. I was told about PTI. And guess what? That's why chat rooms are great because I know how to trade, but I can't catch every stock. This guy did the research. He looked at it. He told us all what was going to happen. And guess what happened? There we go. Okay, I can't give him Trader of the Week back because we just gave it to Andy. If Andy wants to give it to him because of PTI, then that's up to you. I care less. But overall, I mean, this guy just hasn't stopped talking about it, and there's a reason. If a vet like that is sitting there and he's so focused on it, or she is so focused on a specific stock, there's a reason behind it. Always. Myself, Doug, Donna, Nitesh, no one's going to call out something that isn't going to be that isn't going to give some opportunity to do something. We're not going to call out a stock that's just, that's sitting there not doing anything whatsoever. There's got a reason behind what they see, and not for nothing, it was explained, and we made that run up to 4. Now, it didn't hit 4, and we ended up coming back down. No reason, though, based off the buying that we have underneath, that we can't see this thing go back up to that double top at all. Unfortunately, into the afternoons, we've been seeing a lot of things kind of die out a little bit, but we're coming almost to 2 o'clock. So 2 o'clock is usually a pretty good time for us to be looking for a little bit more volume, especially on these cheaper stocks. So PTI, I'm going to keep on our list as well. And other than that, once again, I'm not a huge fan of a lot that I see out there. One thing I do want to bring up is BABA. I'm taking it and riding into the sunset on my mini horse. There's no doubt about it. But something with BABA, guys, we just keep seeing 200 get hit. Okay, so overall, the way that I have to take it as a high percentage play, because I know a lot of you guys are looking at it, the way that I have to take it as a high percentage play is I need a big pullback. It's hit 200 too many times, and you got to remember, the more times that it hits a level, the more that they're showing us in the tip of the iceberg, the bigger the bottom of the iceberg needs to be. My go-to meeting is on crack. Well, unfortunately, I don't know much about drug addicts. But overall, so just make sure I can't get behind this going straight up yet. If it does, great. That's fine. I just can't. I need this thing to pull back a substantial amount because it just hit 200 way too many times. So I'm going to be looking for that to go back down. Other than that, like I said, there's not too much else that I can really get behind. I mean, EXPR, we were trading yesterday, but you could see it's just way too consolidated. Even not EXPR. EXPE we were trading yesterday. EXPR Express, it's just there's just nothing really there that I can, like I said, it's just way too consolidated, not really much there. ACAD is not terrible because it's still got a trend going, but look at the volume. It's not really trading anything. And a stock that, has this big of a range, unfortunately, I can't do much with it. And like I said, other than that, that's what I pretty much got going into it. Home, absolutely phenomenal trade today. It's holding, but are we really have much opportunity for it to be able to break up past here? I don't really see it. I can put home on our side list, but other than that, like I said, I don't have that feeling. Home needs a volume, but has held well. Roku still has volume, has been weak. Dare I say predictable. Well, so Roku, I'm always going to be looking at. It's one of our everyday stocks. But once again, if you look at it, it's just a hard trade. There's not very many like release points that come into it. So what happens is you get a release and then boom, it's right back down. So it makes things just way harder. Remember, I'm a sucker for a smooth stock. Consolidated stocks make my life way harder, and I like to make my life easy. So from there, it's certainly going to watch it. Just it's not, I don't look at it and get excited. That's pretty much the best way to put it. My mouth isn't watering at all. For the fact that I'm going to get a trade out of this. It is coming to 150 though, which we know is going to be play game. So it's just in like kind of a crappy puzzle. All right, guys. Anything else out there that I missed? Anything else out there? Nope. All right. So I will be here for the rest of the day. Let's get ready to make some money coming into the afternoon. We just need some of that volume. And once again, for the three names that I've just mentioned, and obviously Andy for the winning traders of the month first, but then with Doug and David, guys, just like I said, proud is the best word that I could use for it. Your progress is absolutely unbelievable. Just keep up the good work. All right, guys, see everyone in the chat and happy trading.